What's going on, guys? Just got a package from Sony. It's pretty interesting, pretty fun. Interested to see what you guys think of it. Let's go play around with it, see what we get up to. This 12-24 G Master 2.8. This is a cool lens. Let's get rid of this stuff. To my knowledge, this actually hasn't been done before, so this is cool. In terms of weight, it doesn't feel too heavy. So here we have it. Great image quality. It's compact, fairly lightweight. It's got better motors inside than its comparators. It's nice to hold. It's got the usual quality you expect of a G Master lens. So focus hold button, the ability to switch autofocus on and off here, which is really good. The lens hood is great in that it doesn't just come off. You have to actually kind of click it off here, as you can see. That I can say from personal experience with my Sigma lens, if you guys have ever seen the front of it. I actually had a funny story where in San Francisco on top of a hill, the wind got in the side of it and actually just popped off the lens hood, and it rolled down the side of a hill, never to be seen again. So that there is more valuable than you realize. So that's really cool. So I know from looking at some of the literature on this that they've gone to extra lengths to make sure that there's no ghosting and flaring. So they've used special nano coating on some of the front elements to make sure that you're not going to get ghosting and flaring, which is definitely very good, and something that you probably will have noticed from older wide angle lenses, especially when they start to get this wide. So this lens has really been designed from the ground up, and yeah, so it's just a really cool lens. So you can see there a little bit of dust on the lens, but it's a really well built lens. If you're a fan of the 24-1.4, then chances are you're going to be a fan of this as well. The other cool thing about this is that it has a really short minimum focusing distance. So I believe it's like 0.28 meters, which I believe is class leading. So again, if you want to get something really close with a wide angle lens, this is something you should definitely be looking at. It's smaller than I thought it would be, for sure. It's lighter than I expected it to be, and it's a pretty fast lens as well. And autofocusing on this does appear to be faster than my Sigma, as you'd expect, a native lens. One of the other cool things about this lens, just in here, there's a filter holder. You can kind of see this edge just here. Allows you to put ND filters in the back. Just because this lens hood is permanent, you can't do anything about that. So unless you want to get one of those really expensive filter holders which goes over the front, I'm not really a big fan of those because of the setup time. Your option is going to be able to put it in the back. Your best option is going to be able to do that. I think Lee makes ND filter gels. Check them out, and yeah, a template will come in the box, and you would cut out of that gel filter something that would fit into the template, and then that would slot in there, and then you're good to go. I do think I'm going to end up using this lens instead of the Sigma 40mm 1.8. The trade-off you're losing, like one would get from a 1.8 versus the 2.8 on this, but having the flexibility to go from 12 all the way to 24. I can't justify keeping the 1.8 anymore, and I think personally this should replace the 16-35 in the Holy Trinity, just because you're going from 12 to 24 on the 2.8, then you're going from 24 to 70 on the 2.8, and then you're going from 70 to 200 on the 2.8. 16 to 35, there's really an overlap with the 24 to 70. So this is what I would recommend to you have in your kit if you really want to go from having top-end glass taking you, like I say, focal range of 12 all the way through to 200. But that's it. That's going to wrap up this, not quite a review, but my thoughts on a lens which I think is just going to be really good to have in your backpack. It's light, it's compact, it's good, it's fast, it looks good, and then when you pair it with stuff like the 61 megapixels on the A7R Mark IV, or any good decent camera, even the FX9 loving the ability to switch and just have that one mount, you're going to end up with some really good results. So, yep. Yeah, I've literally just talked myself into this being the lens that's going to be in my bag. It's going to be with me at all times. So, sorry Sony, I don't think I'm going to send this back to you. I'm going to keep this. Thanks to Adorama and Sony for letting me try out this lens. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe to Adorama TV for more videos like this one. Check out my YouTube channel now at Tobi Shinobi for the in-depth video. Until next time, wide why not?